Yeah, they just got us the link.
Okay.
All right, I believe we're live, so that's good. Okay. All right, very good. Deputy, I have people that I need to continue. Number one is the fugitive, Latavia Choice. She can go back for tomorrow. And then I don't have any committal documents for Erica Sparks. So if we can either A, put her off until tomorrow, or B, if I can get those committal documents before we end the court session, then we can see her.
What are you call the CAA forms, John?
No, not the CAA forms, the warrant and the application.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I have no idea how to get you those, John.
Okay, that's fine. Well, then we will continue that for tomorrow. And I'll make a note of that. And I'll follow it up in an email too.
Judge, for future reference, I contact classifications. They can provide you with copies of the warrants.
Yeah, I mean, I have them all for everybody else. I'm not really sure what happens, but that's okay.
So yeah, I'll email someone from classifications and see if they can send me that paperwork over while we're
okay, that's fine. If I get them before we finish, then we'll address it. So just have Ms. Sparks sit tight.
Yes, Sean.
Hey, Judge, I got Sparks documents en route to you now.
Oh, perfect. There we go. So just have Ms. Sparks sit tight and we'll get her before we'll get her when we do the females.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Ms. Denson.
No problem.
All right. Deputy, are you ready?
Yes, Sean.
Okay.
Yes, Sean.
All right. Second, I don't know if I'm missing anything. 1 second. Okay. All right, I don't think I'm missing anything. All right, if we could get everybody out there so we can do the swearing in. See the gentleman.
And Judge, may we ask if I'm going to be needed for this?
Yes, ma'am. Deputies, do we have any Spanish speaking inmates that we need translation services for?
No, sir, not on the female side.
Okay.
None on the male side, John.
All right, Ms. Bermudez, easy Friday for you.
Thank you. Good seeing you.
Good to see you too.
Thank you.
Yeah, they don't. It's not Spanish. We got them.
Okay. Yes, we do have the Mandarin interpreter, so we'll get to those inmates in just a few seconds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is first appearance for Clayton County Magistrate Court. Today's date is May the 6th, 2022. It is 11:06 a.m. Before I give you some instructions, I need everyone to please raise their right hand. All right. Do you swear or affirm any evidence that you will give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You can say, I do.
I do.
All right. You can put your hands down. I'm going to go over a few things with you about what's going to happen this morning, okay? First and foremost, this is not going to be a trial date for you, okay? This is not an opportunity for you to talk about the evidence in your case. This is very important. If you believe that you have been wronged, or the officer got something incorrect, or that the witness isn't going to testify at a future date, or there's not enough evidence against you, please don't talk to me about those issues with your case. You will have an opportunity to do so, but today, this morning is not going to be it, all right? This is an informative hearing where I'm going to let you know what you are being charged with. I will then let you know if there is not enough evidence to proceed with your case. If some or all of your charges are dismissed, it doesn't mean that's the end of the road. Police officers or the prosecuting agencies, either the DA's office or the solicitor's office, could come back later on and reinstitute those charges if they find more evidence, or they disagree with my evaluation of the evidence. However, if some or all of your charges are dismissed, then you will be let go on those charges. If you have any charges in any other jurisdiction, then you will be sent over to address those issues, okay? So if your case is dismissed here, it doesn't mean that you get to go home if you have either charges somewhere else or other charges here, or a probation violation, parole violation, or whatever the case may be. I'm only here to address the charges that are in front of me, okay? Secondly, if I do find that there is enough evidence and it's just probable cause, it doesn't mean that you're guilty, but if there is enough evidence, then I am going to let you know what your bond amount is if you are either A, entitled to a bond, or if I have decided that you should be getting a bond. Certain charges you are not entitled to a bond, or certain charges that I've reviewed the warrant, I've reviewed the criminal history, I've reviewed the facts of the case, and I may not issue a bond, okay? If that is the case, then I will tell you what your next court date is going to be. For misdemeanors, your next court date is going to be May the 17th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. For felonies, it is May the 18th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. If you bond out of jail, you will not need to appear for that court date. Your case will automatically be sent to the state court of Clayton County, and the solicitor's office will then pick it up and decide whether they want to continue with the prosecution of your case or not. If it is a felony, it'll be sent to the district attorney's office, and they will decide whether they want to continue with the prosecution of your case or not. You'll just need to make sure that you have a good address or contact information for the clerk's office or the bonding agency that you use, so you'll know when your next court date is, okay? Also, please don't ask me questions about how bonding out works. I will tell you generally, you can either pay the money yourself, or if you go through a bonding company, it's somewhere between 12 and 20% of whatever your total bond is, right? So if your bond is $1,000, it's going to cost somewhere between 12 and 20% for you to get out of jail. All right. I'm not here to discuss, again, the factual allegations of your case. I'm only here to tell you the nature of the charge against you, whether you understand, and if you have any questions. Some of you may have certain bond conditions, what we call special conditions. The most typical ones that are going to be are stay away provisions. So if I tell you that you are not allowed to have any contact with someone, that includes physical contact, telephone contact, contact via the internet, Kik, Skype, Facebook, Twitter, smoke signal, sign language, whatever way you think that you can get around what the order says, believe me, the courts, they're eventually going to snitch on you and tell the courts that you have had contact with them, and then you may find yourself here, right, with more charges and facing not being able to get out. So if you have a no contact provision of your bond, make sure that person does not exist in your world from this day going forward until a judge changes it, okay? If your case is resolved and you take a plea or it's dismissed and then that changes, that's fine. But up until that point, this order is going to be in effect until someone changes it. The other most common special type of bond condition is going to be a stay away from a location. If you are here because there was a domestic situation with either yourself and your spouse or somebody that you are in a relationship with or that you work with or that you know or maybe you don't know, part of your condition may be that you don't go back onto that property. If you live at that property, then we'll talk about how you can go about getting your things from there legally, right? I'm very sensitive to the fact that sometimes people who are living in the same household, things get out of hand, the police are called, and the courts have to get involved. But I want you to be able to get your stuff, but you just can't go there and say, the judge said I can go and get my stuff. You have to follow a proper protocol, and we'll talk about what that is. And that's going to be on a person-to-person basis. Not everyone has those special conditions, okay? So if your question to me goes beyond, what are my charges? What is my bond? What are the conditions of my bond? And what's my next court date? I'm probably not going to go into that question with you because it's going to be outside the scope of what I can address with you today. All right. With that being said, let's start with the two gentlemen that need the Mandarin interpreter. Give me just a moment. All right, I have Jian Lei. All right, Mr. Cho, if I could get you to raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that you will faithfully and honestly translate from the language of Mandarin to English and English to Mandarin, and not make any attempt to change the meaning of the words and strictly go by what is said between the court and the inmate and the inmate and the court? So help you God. Okay, hold on a second. Let me see here. All right, Mr. Cho, can you test your microphone real quick? I can't hear you. Oh, hey, can we unmute Mr. Lei? All right, Mr. Cho, can you ask Mr. Lei what his full name is?
I don't hear him, Your Honor.
Yeah, I can't hear him either. Give me 1 second. Are you using the interpreter function on the Zoom? That may be it. We'll just do it the old school way, Mr. Cho. If you could click the interpretation button and go to original audio, interpretation off. He's not muted. Let me see. All right, we lost him. Well, he'll be back. Okay, let's go with Mr. Morgan's client while we wait on the interpreter to come back. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Technical difficulties, Mr. Morgan. Oh,
Yeah, how about that, Your Honor? Now
okay,
I go.
you're back.
Good.
Yeah, we're good. All right. Sorry, Mr. Morgan. He came back.
Yeah, try to go back and then just don't use that function for the English and Chinese interpretation of good.
Okay, perfect.
江先生，请问你什么名字呢？还是雷先生？是不是？法官在问你。
是，姓雷的。
雷 ，Yeah, Mr. 雷 ，Your Honor.
Okay, I want to go over some preliminary instructions with Mr. Lay so he understands that this is not going to be an evidentiary hearing. This is more informational hearing.
Yeah, 法官让你知道说，今天呢不是在听你的事实，在跟你争辩什么的，都不是。今天只是要跟你讲到你的某一些权利啊，现在跟你介绍一下，你其他的都不用讲的。Okay.
I'm going to go over what his charges are.
首先，先跟你讲一下，我们对你是什么样子的来起诉你的罪名。
What his bond is, if he's going to get a bond.
如果你可以有人来帮你保出去的话到时候你的保释金是多少钱
？And what his next court date will be.
那下一次什么时候开庭的日期，你要来的日期，也让你知道。
Okay. I'll then ask him if he has any questions.
然后我再问你说，你今天有没有什么一些问题没有
No.
But if it's not related to those three things, then I'm probably not going to be able to help him.
今天就是这三件事情跟这三件事情没有关系的，请你就不要问了啊。
Okay. Does he understand what I'm going to go over with him?
所以请问雷先生，你知不知道今天法官要跟你讲的这三件事情现在就要跟你讲，你知道了啊？有没有听到呢？
听到了。
Yeah, understand, sir.
Okay, very good.
非常好。
All right. Mr. Lay, you are charged with 1 count of trafficking in marijuana.
你今天是因为 你因为大麻的缘故所以说你是就是想要携带大麻，所以我们跟你来来起诉这项罪名。
Okay, your bond amount is going to be $50,000.
今天呢，我们跟你设的假设保释金是5万块钱。
Okay, your next court date is going to be May the 18th.
下一次呢，出庭日期是5月18号。
That's a preliminary hearing date, and this is a felony charge.
这是一个我们叫做审判前的一个听证这到时候呢，我们所给你的起诉的罪名是重罪。
On that court date, you'll be able to speak with an attorney.
在那天上庭的时候呢，你可以跟你的就是检察官来说话。
And they'll discuss whether they want to have an evidentiary hearing or work out some other arrangements with the district attorney's office.
到时候呢，地区检察官就是政府方面呢，就会跟你讲说，到底他们要不要起诉你，或者是说他们有什么其他的办法，还是说他们到时候要跟你来一个听证，到底是有没有真是有证据要来起诉你了。
Okay, it's my understanding that you do not read or write English. Is that correct?
据我的了解，好像你不会读，也不会也不懂英文，是不是？是不是这个？我说的对不对？
是。
Yes, yes.
Okay. One thing that I can do for you is I can allow you to hire your own attorney, or I have to ask you some questions if you want me to appoint an attorney for you.
有律师到时候呢，如果你自己要花钱找律师也可以，或者是说，如果你要我们用官派的律师，到时候你要回答我一些问题，看你符不符合资格。Okay.
Do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want me to appoint an attorney for you?
你要你自己花钱去找律师呢，还是要我来帮你指定一个好律师给你呢？
帮我找
你
帮我吧。
Yeah, Your Honor, would you help me out?
Okay, so he wants me to appoint an attorney for him.
所以你要我帮你找一个好的律师给你，对不对？
对。
That's correct, correct.
Okay. Mr. Lay, are you currently employed?
好，来问你一些问题，雷先生，你目前有没有工作呢？有没有上班
我现在没有上班。
？Currently, no, sir.
Okay. Do you own any property anywhere?
你在任何地方有没有拥有你的土地或是一些房子财产呢
现在没有。
？No.
Are you married?
你结婚了吗
还没。
？Not yet.
Do you have any children?
有没有小孩呢
有一个小孩。
？I have one child.
How old?
几岁了呢
6岁。
？6 years old. Excuse me.
And what state do you live in?
你目前住在是哪一州是你的居住州呢
California,
？San Francisco, California.
All right. Do I have permission to put an X where you would sign on this application?
那我是不是可以有你的许可你容不容许呢？我在这边呢打个叉叉，你在这边签个名，你要吗
什么意思呢？
？Yeah, what do you mean by that, Your Honor?
There was an application for counsel that he qualifies for, but I don't think he can read it, so that's why I was asking him those questions.
He filled it out yesterday, Your Honor.
Thank
They
you,
both filled out the ones that we given yesterday. If you like,
Okay,
if you like me to send those over to you after, I can send those to you.
it's okay. I'm working on. We're dodoing this.
Yeah, 法官大人因为知道说你不懂得英文，所以刚才把那些英文都帮你练出来了。你到时候只在这边签个名就可以了。Okay, I'll do that.
Got it. Okay. All right, then let him know that I am going to approve him to have a court-appointed lawyer.
Thank you. 那我现在就跟你讲了，我许可你来用一个我们法庭的免费的律师给你。Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any questions, Mr. Lay?
雷先生，你还没有什么问题要问我没有
没什么问题。
？No question, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lay. Your next court date is going to be May the 18th at 8:30.
下来一个上庭的日期，出庭日期就是5月18号早上8点半。OK.
All right. Thank you.
谢谢你。
All right, the next one is,
下一位是
all right. Mr. Cho, I'm gonna need your help. All right, sir, can you state your full name, please?
先生请你跟我讲一下你的全名好不好？
TANMINGXIAN。
Okay.
你请
How do you
他，
pronounce?
你怎么样来发音呢 ？Sorry about your honor.
No, that's okay. Go ahead, sir.
你如何来名字发音呢
Vincent Tan。
？Vincent Tan。
Okay. Mr. Tan, you may understand English, but if you understand what I'm saying, if you'll just wait for the interpreter to speak to you in your native language and ignore the English, okay?
谭先生，也许你懂英文但是现在既然有翻译的话呢，你听完翻译好之后你尽量就是不要去听英文的部分，等到中文问完之后你再回答，好不好
OK。
？OK。
All right, very good. All right. Mr. Tan, you are charged with 1 count of trafficking in marijuana.
谭先生，你现在被我们所起诉的就是第一项就是你来携带这些就是我们说的 marijuana
Okay, that is a felony.
携带大麻是在我们这边算是重罪，
Your bond is $50,000.
保释金是5万块钱。
Okay. Your next court date is going to be May the 18th.
下一次出庭日期5月18号，
There you'll have an opportunity to speak with an attorney.
在那天呢，你有机会可以跟检察官讲话，
And then you can either have a evidentiary hearing,
你可以有一个到时候可以来听到底有什么证据来对你来开的一个起诉一个听证，
or some other arrangement that your lawyer can work out with the district attorney's office.
或者是你有律师的话，你的律师可以跟我们的地区检察官来做，到时候做一个他们的之间有一个讲到一个好的 deal 在中间。
All right. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint an attorney for you?
你自己要来聘请你的律师呢，还是要我来指派一个律师给你？
那如果我的意思，如果我现在可以找人保吗？可以找律师保吗？如果可以的话，我可以自己聘请的。
How about that, Your Honor? May I ask for if I can get a bond? Then if I get out of the jail, then I can find an attorney to represent me.
Yes, sir. So your bond is going to be $50,000. So you do have a bond.
可以的，你有5万块的保释金，到时候呢，你可以请人来帮你保释出去的，可以的。
好。
OK。
Now, do you want to hire your own lawyer or do you want to start the paperwork to have a lawyer appointed to your case?
所以你到底呢？你现在是要来决定你要来自己找律师呢，还是现在来帮你做一个申请的表格，然后来到时候你要来递出这个可不可以符合资格让我们来请一个免费律师给你的这个程序呢？
那我可不可以先看一下能不能保出去，然后再决定
I like to see that if I can get a bond, then I will decide it after that.
Okay, well,
好的。
So he wants to see if he actually gets out. You want to see if you get out of jail first. Is that correct?
所以是你想知道说，你现在就想先离开这个离开监狱，对不对？离开监狱是吧？
对，因为这些其实跟我没有关系的，但是我不想在这争吵。我就是说，如果我可以离开这里的话，我就可以找到律师，不是
Correct. I'd like to get out of here because in fact this has nothing to do with me, but there is no need to explain anything here. I like to get out to find an attorney first.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm going to mark it down that he wants to hire his own. You want to hire your own attorney. If you change your mind on May the 18th, then you can let them know that you want to have the court appoint you a lawyer.
好的，我这边做一个就是一个 mark 写下标志说你要找自己的律师，是不是到时候到了5月18号以前，你有没有办法出去到时候这样写着
Okay.
好吧？
好
OK。
All right. Do you have any other questions?
还有没有什么其他问题没有啊？
我的意思说，就是我付了5万保释金，我就可以出去了，是吗？
So that what I meant is that if I pay that $50,000 bond, then I can get out of jail immediately. Is that correct?
There is some paperwork that needs to be processed, but yes.
啊，对的，有一些文件要做，但你答案是对的，是。
就是我今天就可以找人保，是不是？
So if I can do it today, if there's a possible person can come to help me out for this bond matter, can I do it today right away?
As quickly as you want to, sir.
呀，先生，你要快，越快越可以啊，越快越好。
Thank you.
Thank you，
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
谢谢，祝你祝好运。好的。
All right, Mr. Cho, I believe that's it.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I
All
be
right, thank
excused,
you,
right?
sir.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Morgan. All right, you said you had Jarvis Smith?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, give me just a moment. I stacked the paperwork up so it's easy to go through, but then when I take them out of order, it messes it all up.
Haven't seen you in a long time, Judge. Didn't recognize you at first without the glasses.
I'm in a different position in the courtroom now, Mr. Morgan.
Well, there's that. And the last time I talked to you, I think you were going to go do PI work.
I'm still doing that. I have my own practice now.
Good for you. Good
Yes,
seeing
sir.
you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give me just a moment. Let me get Mr. Smith's document in order. So while I'm doing that, will you tell me your full name, please? Mr. Smith?
Jarvis Maurice Smith.
All right, Mr. Smith. Give me one moment because I'm sure that Mr. Morgan would like to make an argument on your case. I would like to give him the opportunity to do so. Let me tell you your charges, okay? You're charged with 1 count of sexual exploitation of a child, which is a felony, and 1 count of child molestation, okay? As I said earlier, this is not an opportunity for evidence or anything like that, but since you do have an attorney here, I will let him make an argument on your behalf as it relates to your bond, okay? Okay. All right, Mr. Morgan, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, as I told you in my brief opening, this is weird. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. There were 3 other charges that were preferred almost exactly a month ago. A child molestation and 2 accompanying charges. I negotiated a bond on both of those. And that bond was made yesterday, which is when these charges came in. These charges were actually factually alleged to have occurred in 2019. Why they didn't come in at the same time as the other one, I don't know. But what I'm asking the court to do is go ahead and set them a bond commensurate with the bonds on the other charges. If I'm not mistaken, the bond on the child molestation was $30,000, and on the accompanying, there were 2 accompanying charges, and the total bond was 70. So one was 25 and the other was 15. So if you would set a bond on these 2 charges in the amount commensurate with what was set on the other charges, I think that would be fair. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Give me just a moment. Let me see if I can. Mr. Morgan, do you know when his first appearance was on those other charges?
April the 5th or the 6th, I think.
Okay.
I can look it up, Judge.
Sure.
Hold
If
on
you'll-
just a second.
Sure.
April 7th at 10 a.m.
And do you recall what judge you were in front of?
I don't, Your Honor.
Okay. And I'm assuming that you're representing him on all the charges, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Give me just a moment. You said April the 7th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Now, just not trying to mislead the court in any way. I just negotiated the bonds on the 3 charges with Ms. Freeman a couple of days ago.
I see. Got it.
But I'm pretty sure I would have been able to negotiate these 2 had they been there.
Sure, understand, and let me see. Were they? I'm assuming that they were originally no bonded.
Yes, they were no bonded originally.
I see. Okay. I'm looking at my emails right now, Mr. Morgan, at the committal doc, the warrants and stuff, just to make sure that they are along the same nature.
They are of the same nature, but 2 separate offenses, 2
Sure.
separate factual occurrences.
Understood. Okay. I see. All right. It looks like one of these date range type deals, ongoing stuff. All right. I'll tell you what. Obviously, given the nature of the situation, my initial inclination was to not grant a bond. However, I can understand the frustration of having charges, negotiating them, and then all of a sudden you've got some more pop up out of nowhere when they should have been handled at the same time. You know, what was the bond on the child molestation charge that you negotiated with Ms. Freeman?
30.
Okay.
If you'll permit me to pull up the documents, I've got them on my email. Hold on just a second. But I know that's 30, and I want to give you what the other 2 were.
Sure. Well, I only have them on one sexual exploitation and one child molestation, so.
The other 2 charges were on the previous one were enticing a child and then cruelty to children.
Okay.
The enticing was 15 and the cruelty was 25.
Okay. All right. Well, I am gonna do a bond.
And Judge, there was a stay away from the alleged victim in the other case, who is a different victim than alleged in this case. And I would anticipate that any court would issue a stay away from the alleged victim in this case as well.
Correct. Mr. Morgan, does your client, well, prior to his initial arrest on charges, but what is he the victim here is relation to Mr. Jarvis Maurice Smith?
Yes. It's his child.
Correct. And you know, I've got a stay away provision, obviously, but where's your client currently living? Is he currently staying at that location, or was he staying at that location?
Sir, you can answer that question.
Mr. Smith, where does your son live?
He stays with me. And
Okay.
what's
What's the address?
he's willing to come to court. He's 16 years old. So
I understand. I'm just asking you for your address.
641 Cherry Lane.
Okay. Do you have any other adults in the household that stays with your 16-year-old son?
My wife and my brother.
Got it. Understood. Okay. I'm not making a comment on the evidence against you, Mr. Smith. I just have what's in front of me, and the standard is probable cause. I don't need beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay. So I don't want you to interpret anything that I say or that I do that I'm making a judgment about your guilt or innocence or not guilt in this case. Mr. Morgan did make a very compelling argument because initially I was not going to grant you a bond given the severity of these charges. However, they should have been wrapped up a month ago. And so I would imagine that he would have been able to work out everything with Ms. Freeman. So I'm going to grant a bond on the sexual exploitation of a child, $20,000. And the child molestation, I'm going to do $35,000. It's a little bit more than what Ms. Freeman did, but I feel that was slightly low. So total bond of $55,000 on these two charges. All right. Give me 1 second. Special conditions is to stay away from Jaden Geiger Smith. That's just a carryover from the previous one, but I want to make sure it's in this bond order as well. And unfortunately, sir, I have to put in a stay away from Jarvis Smith Jr., okay? Also, I can't allow you to go back to that residence. So you cannot go back to 641 Cherry Lane in Jonesboro, Georgia. However, do you have belongings that you need to get from that residence while this case is pending?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm putting in the order, and I don't know if Mr. Morgan purposely left or not, but in the order itself, you can go back to that residence, but you have to do it legally, okay? You need to contact the sheriff's office when you leave the jail and arrange for them to accompany you to get your belongings. So whatever you need to get from there, that's fine. But you just can't show up with a piece of paper saying that the judge said I could come get my stuff. Okay. And Mr. Morgan is a very talented attorney. He's been in this community for a very long time. I'm sure he's familiar with the process. So you need to get with him if you are confused on what you can or cannot do to avoid having to come back. Okay. Next court date is going to be, well, actually, I need to mark that you have hired your own attorney. Next court date is going to be May the 18th. Okay. Do you have any questions?
Yes. What was the detective who issued the warrant?
Probably the same one from the last time.
Okay. I want to make certain that I know exactly if it was the same. Henry Joseph?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
That's correct. All right. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, then Mr. Morgan knows how to get a copy of this bond order. So if
One more question.
Yes, sir.
May 18th, will I be able to actually present evidence as far as have my wife to bring my sons to the courtroom?
If you bond out, then you're not going to have a preliminary hearing. It'll automatically be sent to the district attorney's office. And then Mr. Morgan can file whatever motions he deems necessary, and you can have hearings and all that type of stuff. But if you don't bond out, Mr. Morgan can go over exactly what the preliminary hearing is, okay? I can't give any legal advice, all right?
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. All right. Let's get the females. Got the females ready. We've got Jones, Taisa Jones.
Good morning.
Hey, ma'am, can you tell me your full name, please?
Clayton Jones.
All right, Miss Jones, you are charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. That is a misdemeanor. I have reviewed the documents in front of me, and I do not have enough evidence to continue moving this case along. Okay, so I'm going to dismiss the warrant against you. Okay. Now, as I stated earlier, I don't know whether the DA's office or solicitor's office or the officer is going to come back later on with any new evidence or anything like that. But just what's in front of me, I don't have enough to keep you locked up. All right. So I have typed up an order. I have already signed it, and I'm going to send that over to the sheriff's office once we conclude here and I can finish up my paperwork. But they will get paperwork saying that you're free to go on these charges. I don't know if you have anywhere else to go, if you have any other pending charges or anything like that, but as far as this particular case goes, it's going to get dismissed. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Let me get, okay, Lethbridge is bonded out, is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay, perfect. Good, good. All right, let's get Love.
It's love. Gotta come before the judge.
You fill out a CA?
She's coming, Judge.
Okay.
Keeping her awake.
Ma'am, can you tell me your full name, please? What's your name?
Celeste W. Love.
All right, Miss Love, you are charged with 1 count of unlawful removal of a baggage or cargo at the airport. That is a, let me see here, I believe that's a felony charge. Your bond, I am going to grant you a bond. It's going to be in the amount of $5,000. Okay. You're not to go back to the airport unless you have a valid airplane ticket or some other legal reason to be there. You can't be at the airport. Okay. That's part of your bond conditions. If you go back there and somebody sees you and you get arrested, then you could face even more charges. Okay. Your next court date is going to be May the 18th at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. If you bond out, then you do not have to go to that court date. Okay. Did you fill out an application for an attorney?
Yeah.
I don't see it. Give me just a second. Do you want me to appoint an attorney for you, or do you want to hire your own?
You can appoint one.
Okay. Oh, I see it. Okay, 1 second. I need to print this, okay?
You need what?
I've got to print something. Just stand there and be patient. Hold on. All right. Okay, Miss Love, then I'm going to appoint an attorney for you. Again, your next court date is going to be May the 18th. Do you have any questions?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your question?
My question is, how are you going to arrest me for picking up my own property at the
Okay, so
airport?
remember what I told you, we're not going to talk about the facts of your case, okay? So your question needs to be, do I have a bond? How much is it? Do I have any special conditions, and what's my next court date? Do you have any questions about any of those things?
Yes, I do. How much is my bond?
5,000.
And how can I leave here, let's see, 2 weeks ago on something with a $5,000 bond out?
Listen to me, Miss Love. I want you to listen, okay? Your bond is $5,000. You can either pay it yourself or you can go through a bonding company. That's all I can tell you. I'm not here for anything about 2 weeks ago or anything like that. All right? We clear?
Yeah.
All right. Good luck to you. Thank you.
What is your name, by the way?
Judge Daniel Nagel.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mr. Morgan, you're back. Hey, Mr. Morgan, what's going on, sir?
My internet crashed. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I was just explaining to Mr. Smith that he had to stay away from the alleged victim in the case and that he could not return to the address. I did put in the bond order that he is allowed to go to the sheriff's department and get his belongings until either the bond is modified or the case is resolved. But
I understand, Judge.
Yeah, I made it clear to him to not just show up at that residence with a bond order in his hand, that he needed to, if he was ever confused on what to do, to contact you, because I'm sure you've had clients with that special condition before.
I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right.
Good seeing you. Good
Yes,
seeing
sir,
you.
you too. All right. Take care.
You too.
All right. Let me get Pittman.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me your full name?
Quaisha Pittman.
All right. You are charged with 1 count of felony aggravated assault. That obviously it's a felony. I am not inclined to grant a bond at this time. Your next court date is going to be May the 18th at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom for your preliminary hearing. Do you want me to appoint an attorney for you, or do you want to hire your own?
I'll take the court attorney.
Okay, that's fine. And let me see here, court appointed attorney. All right, well, I will do that for you. So next court date is May the 18th. And then your attorney will get with you at the very least on that day, but probably a day or two before then, okay? Do you have any questions?
You said the attorney will come to see me prior to the 18th?
Typically, they go and see you a day or two before your preliminary hearing, but at the very least, then you'll be able to speak with them about the evidence and how to proceed on your case on the 18th, okay?
Is there an opportunity that they can motion for it to maneuver forward?
What's
in terms of the bond? Is there an opportunity that they can implement some type of motion to maneuver the bond forward?
They can negotiate with the DA's office at your preliminary hearing.
Okay.
It doesn't guarantee anything, but they'll have an opportunity to speak to the DA, and they'll be able to talk to them about whether they want to reconsider this order. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. No problem. Take care. Good luck to you. All right. Let me get Villaire.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Tell me your full name, please.
Kintoya Valère.
All right, Ms. Valère, you are charged with a misdemeanor of reckless conduct, okay? I feel like I'm missing something. Ah, here we go. Your court-appointed counsel form. Good. All right. Your next court date is going to be May the 17th if you don't bond out. If you do bond out, then you don't have to go to that court date, okay? Just make sure that the clerk's office has a good address and way to contact you so you don't miss court later on down the road, okay? I am going to grant a bond in your case. The bond is going to be $5,000. You can either pay that yourself or you can go through a bonding company. I will say this, you know, again, I'm not here to really talk about the facts or the evidence in your case, but you know, if things happen even remotely like they're alleged to have happened, you know, you're very fortunate that something more serious didn't happen that you know, someone didn't get hurt. Okay.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
you're a grown up, you're an adult, you know, just make sure that you act accordingly. Okay. You know,
Yes, sir.
being a grown up and carrying weapons and things is a great responsibility. And I'm, you know, you don't strike me as someone that comes across the courts very often. And so just make sure that you act like a grown up and you take that responsibility very seriously. Okay. I don't want to see you back here. Now, based on the information that I have, I can't grant you a court-appointed attorney, okay? That situation may change between now if you bond out and your next court date, but there are guidelines that I have, but let me just make sure that what you have is correct, okay? Approximately how much do you make per month?
Bro, it depends on my check ranges from
Sure.
2,100 every 2 weeks to 3,500 every 2 weeks. So I just estimate it.
Okay.
So I mean, I do have help. My mom, them will help out. So
okay, I got you. Okay. All right. Well, then I'm putting it down that you have to hire your own attorney. Okay. But if your financial situation changes by the next time you come to court and you're not able to get a lawyer, just make sure you let the court know that when you're there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions?
So I can bond out today.
If you can arrange that financially, absolutely.
I can.
Now I will say this, you know, look, there's a lot of paperwork. When we leave here, I have to conduct paperwork. And then once the process starts, the jail's going to have to do paperwork. So if you end up arranging it financially, just be patient and just know that everybody's working on it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Let me get right.
Pen and paper, because I need pen and paper if I need to work on it.
All right, ma'am. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Evelise Marie Wright.
All right, Ms. Wright, you are charged with one count of trafficking in marijuana, which is a felony offense. Okay. I am granting a bond in this case. Bond is going to be $75,000. If you can afford that, then you just make sure that they have your information to tell you when your next court date is. If not, your next court date is going to be May the 18th. Now, you were given an opportunity to fill out a form for a court-appointed counsel, but it's not filled out. So do you want to hire your own attorney?
Yes,
Okay, that's fine. And just what state are you a resident of?
Illinois.
Illinois. Okay. So I'm going to mark on here that you want to hire your own attorney. If for whatever reason that ends up changing, just whenever you go to court, just let them know that you want to apply for court-appointed counsel. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, deputy, give me one moment while I get Miss Sparks' paperwork printed out, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, ma'am, can you tell me your full name, please? Oh, it's on mute. It's still on mute. There we go. There we go. It's okay. It's all right. All right. Ma'am, can you tell me your full name, please?
Erica Renee Sparks.
All right, Ms. Sparks. You are charged with one misdemeanor count of battery, family violence. Who is Mr. Tyrone Sparks? What's your relationship?
Husband.
How long have you been married to Mr. Sparks?
A year and 6 months.
Okay, so y'all are supposed to be on the newlywed stage of the marriage, not in the grizzled veteran getting in the fight stage. All right. Do you all, I'm assuming that you all live together, is that correct?
Well, I stay at the resident. He's in and out.
Okay, that's fine. So that's not, he doesn't stay there?
No.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. This will come. I'm going to issue you a bond. Okay. Looks like you don't get in trouble at all, so that's a good thing, right? Just like I told the other young lady, you know, we as grown-ups, we have to govern ourselves accordingly. And I know that sometimes things get heated, but you know, we have to resolve our conflicts without police involvement sometimes. And I know it's difficult, but you know, as you can see, it leads to things that probably didn't mean to happen, right? So I'm going to grant a bond of $3,000. Okay. And if you pay that, then you don't have to go to your next court date, which is May the 17th. All right. It'll automatically be sent over to the state court Solicitor General's office, and they can decide whether they want to continue with this case or handle it some other way. Okay. All right. However, in order to keep the peace, because I have to make sure that the peace is kept between you and this person that you've allegedly gotten into an incident with, you cannot have any contact with Tyrone Sparks. Now, normally in this situation, I would say that you can't go back to the residence, but you're saying it's your residence and he doesn't stay there. Now, what happens if he shows up? Well, then you need to not be there, okay? So the conditions aren't on him, it's on you. So wherever he is, you ain't, okay? And until another judge changes what I'm writing down, don't have any contact with Tyrone Smith. No text messaging, no WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is that you can think of, just don't do it, because you don't want to come back here, I'm assuming. Am I correct? Right. Okay. Once your case is over with or a judge changes it, then you can have contact if you want to. Okay. But I just don't want you to end up back here. All right. Again, let me see here. I need to see if you want, do you want to hire your own lawyer, or do you want to see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney? You want to hire your own? That's fine. That you are well within your rights to do so. All right. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you, Ms. Sparks. That's all the females that I have.
Judge, you also heard Ms. Choice, Latavia?
Yes, she's going to be continued to tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna be able to do.
All right. No problem, Judge.
All right. That's everyone, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Let's go to the mail side. Let's get David Bray or David Bray.
Bray. David Earl. The white, yeah, right here. Yeah, that, you know, wake him up. Come on, David. Get up. Everybody wake up. So when I call your name, you need to get up and come on up here.
All right, sir, can you tell me your full name, please?
David Earl Bray.
All right, Mr. Bray, you are charged with 1 count of aggravated assault and 1 count of pointing a pistol at another. All right, the aggravated assault is a felony and the other charge is a misdemeanor. I am going to issue a bond on the aggravated assault. It's going to be $30,000. On the pointing a pistol misdemeanor, it's going to be $5,000 for a total of $35,000. All right, you're not to have any contact with Allison Donnelly. I don't know what your relationship is to her, but you just need to pretend that she does not exist, okay, in your world. Also, I can't have you go back to 6165 Hickory Drive. Is that in Forest Park?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Were you living at that residence?
No, I was over there helping out.
Okay. Do you have anything over there that you need to pick up? Any personal belongings?
Yeah, because I stopped off a U-Haul truck from my other place to pick up something for this guy that lived there. And that's when this incident happened.
Okay. Well, I'm putting in your bond order that if you need to go back over there, you just need to make sure you coordinate with the sheriff's office, okay? Don't go there by yourself. Make sure you do it the legal and the correct way, all right?
I ain't got that kind of money, so I ain't going back anyway.
I got you.
Oh,
that's fine. Well, your next court date is going to be May the 18th. Do you want to hire an attorney or do you want to have me appoint one?
Have one appointed.
Okay, I will do that. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Davenport, you're next.
All right, let's get the next one. All right, sir, can you tell me your full name?
All
right, Mr. Davenport, give me just a moment. Sorry. All right, Mr. Davenport, you are charged with simple assault, family violence.
No, my name is Durden.
Oh, Durden. I'm sorry, sir. I heard Davenport. My apologies. All right, Mr. Durden, you are charged with 1 count of battery. All right. I am going to grant a bond and it's going to be $3,000. Okay. Now, I'm sure you heard me say this to other people, so I want you to pay attention, okay? You're not to have any contact with Janisha Carter. I don't know what your relationship is to her, but you need to pretend that she does not exist on this earth until either your case is resolved or another judge changes your bond conditions. So if you have any contact with her and the court finds out about it, or the prosecuting agency finds out, the DA, the officer, solicitor's office, then you're looking at even more charges and probably worse consequences. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I have something to say. Can I speak?
Not yet. And if you're going to tell me about your case or what your relationship is, I don't need to hear it, and I don't want to hear it. Okay.
Okay.
Are you staying at 4735 Courtney Drive, 07 in Forest Park?
Yes, I stay there.
All right. So you need to get your stuff from there?
Yes.
All right. Well, I will allow you to do that, but you can't live there until your either case is resolved or another judge changes the bond conditions. All right. So if you want to get your stuff, that's fine. Just make sure you do it the legal way and you go and coordinate it with the sheriff's department. All right. If you show up there with a piece of paper, that's not good enough. Okay. You need to contact the sheriff's office and coordinate getting your stuff from there. All right. Bond is 3,000. If you're able to make bond, then you don't have to go to your next court date on May the 17th. If you don't, then that's going to be your preliminary hearing date. Let me see. Do you want me to appoint an attorney for you, or do you want to hire your own?
Appoint one.
Okay, I'll do that for you, sir. Now, do you still want to ask me a question or tell me something?
No, it's good.
Okay, all right. We're live on Zoom, man. So anything that you can say, anything that you say, you know, just like they tell you, can and will be used against you. So that's why I tell people, if you got something that you want your lawyer to know because you got a good defense or something like that, save it for them, okay?
All right.
All right, good luck to you.
Davenport.
There we go.
Drummond, you're next.
All right, Mr. Davenport, I'll make sure I got the right person. Tell me your full name, please.
DeMarcus Davenport.
All right, Mr. Davenport, you are charged with one count of simple assault. All right, let me make sure. Yep, simple assault, family violence. I am going to grant a bond. That bond is going to be $2,000. Now, normally I would have a complete stay away from the other person involved, but in your case, you can have no violent contact. What does that mean? No screaming, no yelling, no cussing. Don't raise your voice. Don't ball your fist up at them. Don't do what you did again or allegedly did again, okay? Anything that would make somebody kind of jump and be like, wait a minute, you're gonna do something to me. If it makes them have that reaction, then you don't need to be doing it, okay? Again, your bond is $2,000. Your next court date is going to be May the 17th, okay? If you bond out, then you don't have to go to that court date. Otherwise, that'll be your preliminary hearing. Do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want me to appoint one?
Oh, I'm gonna hire my own.
You want to hire your own? All right, that's your right to do so, sir. Not a problem. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Well, good luck to you, sir.
All right, I can go to Drummond. If not, I'll figure it out. Then I'll go home.
All right, can you tell me your full name, sir?
Brian Lee Drummond.
All right, Mr. Drummond, you are charged with 4 counts of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, 1 driving on suspended license, 1 suspended registration, 1 count of use or possession of drug-related object, and 1 count of impeding traffic. I am going to issue a bond on all your charges, okay? So for the first drug charge, warrant ending in 718, it's 5,000. Warrant ending in 719, 5,000. Warrant ending in 720, 5,000, and warrant ending in 721, 3,000. The no license charge, 1,500. The registration, 500. The use or possession of drug-related objects, 1,000, and then impeding traffic, 500. So I'm about to tell you the total bond, okay? 18,000. 21,500, 21,500 for everything, okay? Now, some of those charges are felony charges, so your next court date is going to be May the 18th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. If you bond out, then you don't have to go to that. If you're still here, then you'll have an opportunity to speak with an attorney for a preliminary hearing, or they can work out something else. Do you want to hire an attorney, or do you want me to appoint one?
For now, we're gonna appoint one.
Point one, okay, okay, I will do that, sir. All right, so do you have any questions? No? Okay, all right, good luck to you.
When you said we're next, lost. We lost. You're not in.
Lawson, wake up. Ain't no Lawson anymore. All right, we'll skip Newton.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, sir. Good morning. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Mujahideen Newton.
All right.
I'm sorry, Lawson not here, so he told me.
Okay. No, that I heard what was going on, so that's fine. We'll just put him to the side and we'll go with your case, okay? All right. Mr. Newton, you are charged with 1 count of trafficking in marijuana. I am going to grant a bond in your case. It's going to be $75,000. The only other condition of your bond is that you don't violate any other laws of the state of Georgia. It is a felony charge. Do you want to hire an attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
I would like you to appoint one for me.
Okay, yes, sir, I can do that for you. Okay, so you're not a resident of Georgia, is that correct?
No, sir.
Okay, got it. All right, well, like I said, you do have a bond, $75,000. If you're able to bond out, then you don't need to show up for your preliminary hearing court date, okay? If you are still here, then they'll bring you over and they'll have an opportunity to talk to the DA's office, and you can either have a hearing or they can negotiate some other type of arrangement with them, okay? But if you do bond out, just make sure that you leave good contact information. So because you're not a resident of Georgia, you know when you need to come back to court because you don't want to miss court date and get a warrant out for you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions?
Is it half of the 75?
No. So if you have, let's just say you have $75,000, there may be some fees and surcharges and things. You can pay that directly to the sheriff's office and they'll let you go. Typically in Georgia, to get bail, it's 12 to 20%. So about 10,000 is what you would need if you went through a company, roughly. Okay. You know, I'm sure the jail has information on bonding companies and things like that, but typically it's 12 to 20% on the total amount. Okay.
And I can bond out today if I get the
if you can financially arrange it with the bonding company or yourself, then you can do it as quickly as you can.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Good luck. All right, sir. Can you tell me your name, please?
Michael Anthony Picard.
All right. Mr. Picard, you are charged with 1 count of trafficking in marijuana. I'm also going to grant a bond in your case. It's going to be $50,000. Okay.
Yes.
All right. You are a resident of Georgia. Got it. All right. Your next court date is going to be May the 18th. It's a felony offense. If you're able to bond out, then you don't need to go to that court date. If not, then they'll bring you over and you can meet with an attorney and they'll discuss either having a hearing or some other arrangement with the district attorney's office. Do you have any? Let's see here. Do you want me to appoint an attorney or do you want to hire your own? What's that?
You can appoint one for now, then I'll make a decision.
Okay, that's fine. So I will do that for you. Do you have any questions, Mr. Picard?
No.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lawson. Your Honor, that's Maurice Lawson.
Okay. Mr. Lawson, give me just a moment.
We're here next.
All right. Can you tell me your full name, sir?
Maurice Lawson.
All right, Mr. Lawson, you are charged with 1 count of terroristic threats and acts. Your bond is going to be $4,000. 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property. Your bond is going to be $1,500, and 1 count of disorderly conduct, $1,500. Your total bond on all charges is $7,000. Also, You're not to have any contact with Kynetta Harris or Akeisha Harris, okay? So I don't know what your relationship is to them, if you have one or you don't have one, whether it's work or, you know, you are related or whatever the case may be. But as it stands right now, do not have any contact with either one of them, okay? That includes text, calls, social media, internet, whatever, all right? Other than that, don't violate any more laws in the state of Georgia. Next court date is going to be May the 18th. If you're able to bond out, then you don't have to go to that court date. If not, then they'll bring you over and your attorney can negotiate something with the district attorney's office, or you can have a preliminary hearing. Do you want me to appoint an attorney or do you want to hire your own?
No, sir, I actually have an attorney, and I have another question. The terroristic threat.
Hold on a second. You said you already hired an attorney. Who is it?
Her name is Kim.
Who?
I gotta get her full name. I gotta get it from my girlfriend.
Got it. Okay. Well,
But
give me just a minute.
I talked to her today, though, the lawyer lady. I talked to her today.
Okay, that's fine. Well, then just make sure your lawyer puts in an entry of appearance.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, is that terroristic threat, is it felony or misdemeanor?
Felony.
Okay.
Now, later on down the road, I don't know if your lawyer is able to negotiate something or work something out with the district attorney's office. Sometimes charges change. They go from more severe to less severe or less severe to more severe. I don't know, but that's something for your lawyer to look into, okay?
You said the total bond is how much?
Total bond is $7,000.
$7,000.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you.
All right, yes, sir. Good luck.
Rainy, you're next. You said, who? Revere? Yes, Revere's up. Rainey's next.
All right, sir. What is your full name?
Ray, we go to Rod Revere.
Okay. All right, Mr. Revere, you are charged with 1 count of aggravated assault, which is a felony, and 1 battery family violence, which is a misdemeanor. Okay. Your next court date is going to be May the 18th. If you're able to bond out, then you don't have to go to that court date. If not, then they'll bring you over there and you can discuss with your lawyer, either work out something with the district attorney's office or have a preliminary hearing. The bond on the aggravated assault is going to be $8,000. The bond on the battery is going to be $2,000 for a total of $10,000. You do have some special conditions, so you need to pay attention. You're not to have any contact with Shaquandia Harris. Now, I don't know what your relationship is to Miss Harris, but going forward, she doesn't exist in your world, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you've heard me tell other people, but it's very important that no Instagram, no Kick, no Twitter, no Bumble, no Tinder, none of that stuff, okay?
Yes, sir.
Because you can find yourself back in here with even more charges and a possibility of not getting out, all right? Also, were you staying at the 2004 Morris Drive in Riverdale? Were you living there?
That's my address. Actually, my girl, she had moved back to Texas. So I still stay at that address. My girl, she's gone back to Texas now.
Give me just a second. Here's the thing, Mr. Revere.
Yes, sir.
Here's the thing. It's not that I don't want to not believe you. I do want to believe you, right? But and what I was doing, I was looking to see when this incident occurred, and it occurred almost a month and a half ago. So it may be very likely that this person has moved to Texas and you staying away from them isn't a problem. That may very well be the case. However, as you can imagine, sometimes people aren't very truthful when it comes to these matters, right? And so I don't have the time nor the power or the ability to investigate if what you're telling me is true or not, okay? So this is what I'm gonna tell you, okay? Because this incident happened there, I can't allow you to go there. Now, you can get with an attorney and have them modify it and present some type of evidence that this other person is no longer in the state of Georgia and you need to go back to your residence because it's yours and she's no longer there. I don't have a problem with that, but I don't have that evidence in front of me right now, right? And so for now, I can't have you go back there, but if you need to get things from that residence until you can get your evidence and get a lawyer to change the bond conditions, then I'm going to allow you to do that, okay? You know, it's a tough spot for me. I'm sure it's a tough spot for you, but I just don't have the ability to know whether you're telling me the truth or not, okay? I would like to think that you are, but some people aren't always honest, all right? So just don't go back there unless you go back with the sheriff's department. You can go back there and get anything you need to get until either your case is resolved or you or a lawyer gets another judge to change this bond condition, okay? Or maybe it'll be me in the future, I don't know. But, you know, you'll just need to get some type of documentation to back up what you're saying, all right? So total bond of 10,000, next court date, May the 18th. Now, do you want to hire an attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
What one for you?
Okay, I will do that. Now, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, all right, very good. Good luck to you.
Rainy. Riggins, you're next.
Ooh, excuse me. Good morning.
All right, good morning, Mr. Sir, can you tell me your full name?
Charles Edward Rainey Jr.
All right, Mr. Rainey, you are charged with a misdemeanor of public drunkenness. The bond is $1,000. The only condition that I have for you, sir, is just don't violate any more laws while you're out on bond, okay? Oh, let's see. Your next court date is going to be May the 17th. If you bond out, you don't have to go to that court date, okay? Just make sure that they have a good address or telephone number or whatever way that they need to contact you so you don't miss your next court date, all right? Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
You can appoint one. Yes, sir.
Oh, all right. Well, I would like to, but it says here that you refuse to fill out the form. So I've got to ask you some questions because I don't know whether you qualify or not.
Yeah.
And you would have saved yourself a little bit of time to fill this out. What city do you live in?
Union City.
Union City?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. On average, how much do you make per month?
22.
22, okay. All right. Do you have any real estate or properties that you own?
No, no, sir.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
Do you have any rent or mortgage payments?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you currently married?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have any children?
No, sir.
Okay. And have you ever served in the military?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. See, that wasn't so bad. You could have done that.
Yeah.
Without me going over it with you.
What
All right.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Give me just a second, okay?
All right.
I always give everybody an opportunity to ask a question. You may not want to ask me the question, but I'll give you the opportunity to. All right. Next court date is May the 17th. Like I said, if you bond out, you don't have to go. What's your question?
My question is, I spent the night in jail. Okay, last night. Is that a 24-hour thing? Can that happen? Like, you know, if I did my 24 hours overnight, can I just go in on and go home?
So I think I know what you're asking me. So if your case gets resolved and they say 24 hours, whatever time you've done in jail, they typically count it. But that's a question later on down the road. There's not a rule or there's nothing in this instance where it's like, well, if you do 24 hours, you can just walk out. I mean, you have a bond of $1,000. So you need to take care of the bond.
Oh, I can take care of that.
Okay.
I just don't have my possessions right now. They took everything yesterday.
I got you. Well, anything that was confiscated, so long as it was legal, you should be getting it back once you bond out, okay?
That's the problem. I don't know where it is. They just threw me in a tank and that was it.
Yeah, well, that's something that you need to work out with the sheriff's office. I don't have any control over that, okay?
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
Yep, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Riggins. All right. Mr. Riggins, you are charged with 1 count of battery family violence, and then also violation of a family violence protective order. On the battery, I am going to grant a bond of $3,000. However, on the family violence order violation, I'm not inclined to issue a bond.
But we didn't, I didn't break no, what's it called?
Well, again, remember what I said at the beginning, that we're not here to discuss the evidence in your case, right? I can only go by what's in front of me, okay? And what's in front of me is there's enough there to say that you did. I'm not saying you're guilty. I'm just saying there's enough evidence for it to continue, okay? So,
Sir, I just got this supervisor position. I gotta go I'm trying to be at work tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I just got this position.
I understand, but listen, I have to follow the law, right? So, unfortunately, I don't know the circumstances of people that come before me. I know it's tough and I know it's unfortunate, but I don't have any control outside of that. My job is to be impartial to everyone and make sure that the law is followed and that. And so, I would, you need to make contact with an attorney. Now, do you want me to do you want to appoint an attorney for you, or do you want to hire your own?
No, you appoint one.
Okay. All right. Well, they'll get with you as soon as they can, and then you can talk to them about the situation.
The female taking that's off. So what that mean?
What's that?
She took that off the family violence thing, for us to be around.
I don't know what to tell you, sir. That's not in front of me. I can only go by what's in front of me. All right.
Yeah, you just really messed my life up. Yeah, man. Oh, man, that fucked me up.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Mine Snyder.
All right. Mr. Snyder, you are charged with 1 count of simple battery and 2 counts of criminal trespass. For the simple battery, I am going to grant a bond of $4,000, and then both counts of criminal trespass is going to be $3,000. So your total bond is $10,000. Okay. Now, you're not to have any contact with Lashari Koczynski. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name, but you'll get a copy of who I'm talking about. You'll get it spelled out for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, like I told everybody else, that person doesn't exist. If you end up making contact with that person, either yourself or you try to get somebody else to make contact with her and say, hey, drop the case or whatever, then that's also a violation of this condition. Do you understand? Next court date is going to be May the 17th. If you bond out, you don't have to go to that. Just make sure that they have good contact information for you later on down the road so you don't miss your court date. Okay. Now, do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want me to appoint one?
Appoint one.
Okay.
Where is that little court? You want to pay attention? You say that.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Good luck to you. All right. What's your name, sir?
Sylvester Miller York Jr.
Okay. Mr. York, you are charged with 4 counts of financial transaction card theft. The bond on each one of those charges is $5,000. Okay, so your total bond is $20,000, and you're not gonna have any contact with Yvonne or Yvonne White. Now, I don't know what your relationship is to her or if you even have one, but that person doesn't exist in your world up and until your case is either closed or another judge changes the bond conditions. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Your next court date is going to be May the 18th. If you're able to bond out, then you don't need to go to that court date, okay? Otherwise, on that date, you and the attorney can discuss either having a preliminary hearing or making some other arrangement with the district attorney's office because it is a felony charge. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
I would like for you to appoint one, please.
Okay, yes, sir. I will do that for you. Do you have any questions?
I do.
Okay.
I just wanted to kind of mention that I have been a resident of Clayton County for over 20 years, and I am currently working. And I have a start date for MARTA on the 23rd, so I wanted to possibly see if I could be considered to receive not necessarily a low bond, but if the bond could possibly be reduced.
I got you. Well, I will tell you that I looked through everybody's case prior to getting on, and things that are considered are whether you're a flight risk, whether you have any criminal history, the facts of the allegations, and things like that. Okay, so I do take that into consideration, and you know I appreciate the fact that you've been a resident of Clayton County for that long. But at this time, you know, I'm going to do a total bond of $20,000. Now, if you or your attorney get together and y'all want to file any paperwork or motions for reconsideration, then you're more than welcome. That's your right to do so. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Do we have Benny Joe Smith?
No, Your Honor, that was the last bill.
I had a Benny Joe Smith on
Benny.
Let's see. I'm looking for the LE number.
18th, I told you, May 18th.
I don't have a LE number, but I have Benny Joe Ricardo Smith. He filled out a court application as well.
That's Smith. Benny Smith? Come on. The judge looking for you. What's the question?
All right, Mr. Smith, can you tell me your full name, please?
Benny Joe Ricardo Smith.
All right, Mr. Smith, you are charged with 1 count of possession of methamphetamine, which is a felony, and possession of marijuana, which is a misdemeanor.
He said you have to stay with her and no contact.
No, he didn't say for her, he said for my son. So that's what I'm trying to understand.
I am going to grant a bond in your case, okay? For the felony violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, it's going to be $2,500, and for the misdemeanor marijuana, it's $1,500. So your total bond is $4,000. Okay. Your next court date is going to be May the 18th. If you're able to bond out, then you don't have to go to that court date. Okay. If you are still in the Clayton County Jail, then you'll meet with an attorney and they can discuss either having a preliminary hearing or work out some other arrangement with the district attorney's office. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
Appoint one for me.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. That's all I have.
Hey, Judge.
Yes, sir.
I just have one question.
Okay,
This is Jarvis Smith again.
Okay.
When it came to my son, my wife is actually homeschooling my son. This doesn't affect my relationship to my wife, does it? Because I know you
the
said.
only, you need to talk to Mr. Morgan, but let me reiterate. You're not to have any contact, okay, with the people that are named, okay? If your wife is not named, you can have as much contact as you want, but remember, there's a no contact and there's a stay away from the residence, okay? So talk to Mr. Morgan. He'll set you straight on what you can and can't do, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Anybody else out there?
No, Your Honor, that is be the last.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stop